Today, as someone who's been a stripper of 6 years, I'm gonna tell you all the sneaky ways that I use to test men. Because when I'm dating someone, I want to see whether they lead with their heart or their ego, whether they're good enough for me. I've been able to read men like the back of my hand with their micro expressions, their behavior, their attitude, everything. And this is exactly the tea that I'm going to spill for you today, so that you know who you're dating and what for, without having to spend another 2 or 3 years down the line to realize that actually they're a dickhead.
Bruh.
So let's look in. So first of all, let's do the boundary test. This is one of my favorites, and obviously as a stripper we get to see the boundary test very easily, very often, very quickly, because in a strip club there is usually a no touch rule. I get to say don't do this, and I get to watch whether they try to push that boundary. Disclaimer, obviously, if they try to push a boundary of any kind or any sort, they will only get worse. Do not ignore that. That's a red flag. Therefore, when you're on a date with him, this is what you do. Set a soft boundary that doesn't actually matter. For example, one of my soft boundaries is when I date a man, I never let him know my YouTube channel because that's a bit too personal for me. The topic has to be dropped. And if he says that's stupid, that's a red flag. We don't like him. It's never stupid. No matter what the boundary is, he has to respect your feelings and he has to place value on how you feel, regardless of how silly it sounds to him.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
You would do that with your girlfriends? Don't give a man a different excuse. Oh my god, this next one is my favorite one. It's the ego test, because we all know that men can be a little bit egotistical. Listen, I myself dabble in egotistical men a little bit because they're confident, they're fun, they're outgoing, kind of like me. And sometimes they can be dickheads. I have quickly realized that. So in order to avoid that, this is what you do. Find something that they seem really, really confident about and push back, no matter how silly it is. For example, he really likes cars. Say, oh my god, no, my Fiat 500 is so much more powerful and faster than your Subaru. Obviously, what do you mean? See how he reacts. See how he reacts. If he gets pent up and angry about it, there is a fucking issue and you need to run for the hills.
I feel like I haven't explained this well enough in the video, and the reason that it's a red flag is because it means that his identity is tied to being right and he can't self-regulate. Therefore, when you question his identity because it's so tied to being right, he will then like explode and put it onto you, which is going to be a red flag later in the future because it shows that he can't regulate his feelings and he doesn't differentiate connection from the need to be right, and he will place the need to be right above the connection. Whereas a green flag would be when he can joke with you about it, even though we all know that a Fiat isn't faster than a Subaru. If he can joke and let it go and laugh about it with you, it shows that he's secure in his sense of self and what he knows, and he prioritizes connection over the need to be right, and therefore you get it.
If it comes between you and him, he's always going to choose him. Who's choosing you, babes? You have to choose you. Run. Oh my god, this happened to me the other day actually. This is what I mean, that men have too much audacity, and I'm claiming it all, period. Late at night, after a night out, I just decided to sit on a bench and talk to ChatGPT because he's my husband, he's my best fucking friend. This random man decides to sit next to me on said bench.
Where's the decorum?
The morals.
Decorum.
But you
He comes to find out that I'm from Eastern Europe, right? Because small talk, whatever. And he tells me, oh my god, what is it, this soup that you guys have that's made out of beetroot and it's cold? And I say, yeah, it's called borscht. And he's like, no, it's called something else.
Huh?
Brother, what do you mean you think you know better than me who was born there? You with your English looking self. What do you mean it's not called borscht? So I beefed him. But that's such a simple example of they think they know better than you, and when you give them pushback, they keep arguing with you. Test him. Check if that's something that he does. If he does, run for the hills. Period. Oh my god, this next one is so sneaky and subtle, but it's actually the fucking best. Let me look in again. Number 3, the status test. Or when a man also still has too big of an ego, which unfortunately too many of them do. And you do not want a man who leads with ego, you want a man who leads with heart. This is what you do. Next time he's talking about his promotion, how well he's done in crypto, how well he's done in his stock market, I want you to, 1, not give any reaction because he's waiting for you to react and put him on a pedestal. That's why he's bringing it up and talking about it the way that he is. And two, I want you to swiftly change the topic. Oh, and see what he does. For example, said man, oh my god, my stocks did a turnover of 700% last year because I'm just so clever and I other men off. You, all right, cool. Did you know yesterday I saw this really gorgeous pigeon say it with so much confidence because what you have to say, you know that what you have to say is so much more important than what he has to say. If he switches the conversation and carries on talking about what you are talking about because you're passionate about it, green flag. Amazing. We love that. If he gets defensive, pent up, irrational, you get the picture. Red flag, run away. And listen, I know on the surface this sounds a little bit rude, but we're only doing it once, and then after that, please celebrate each other. That's the healthiest, best thing you can do. We're just using this little caveat as a test. Just to check him, just to suss him out if he's good enough for you. Queen. He has to want to prioritize the connection and your happiness over his status. Obviously, period. Number 4, the accountability test. Now, this one's really important because a man who can take accountability, it will save you so many years of crying. Oh my god. If he's watching this, he's gonna hate me. I was dating a man who couldn't take any accountability. That's why we broke up. Because every time he wouldn't put the toilet seat down, which I expressed was a boundary of mine, which again, this is why you checked boundaries early on, we would have an argument and he would blame external factors every single time about him not being able to put the toilet seat down. I don't need to explain this any further. This is so normal, everyone does this. See how he reacts when you call him out. You always need to be able to call men out. We're locked in on that. If he forgets to call you back, is 15 minutes late, just normal human things that you randomly fuck up about. Call him out on it nicely, politely, just be like, oh, I don't appreciate when you turn up 15 minutes late without telling me. Do you mind texting me next time? See how he reacts, because green flag would be, oh my god, I'm so sorry, you're so right, and then he texts you the next time. If he apologizes without changing his behavior, that's manipulation, babe. Apology without behavior is manipulation. Apology with behavior, you're actually getting better. And yes, of course, whatever. Allow 1 or 2 fuck-ups, because sometimes you can tell someone to do something and they can forget to do it again. I've done that myself, which is why I'm giving them a pass. But if the fuck up continues, run for the hills. Obviously, a slight note for you is do not correct his behavior. Please do not correct his behavior. I hate it so much when women, and I've been guilty of this myself, when women give them an excuse, if that makes sense.
Again, let me explain this a bit more clearly. When I say by overcorrecting, I mean when you call him up and you're like, okay, step by step, this is how you mop the floors. You first get a bucket and then you fill it with water and then you put soap in it and then you get the point. That's when you overcorrect, because you are almost taking on the emotional labor of having to figure it out onto yourself instead of letting him come forward and figure it out for you in order to make you feel comfortable. That's what I mean. Don't put in the extra emotional labor when it's not always needed. It's very good and very healthy to explain yourself and explain your needs to a person, but don't do the extra steps that feel overwhelming of like, okay, I'm doing it step by step for him, because he needs to do that for you to make you feel comfortable.
He does something wrong and then you call him and say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. You are correcting his behavior. You are putting extra emotional labor onto yourself that he then doesn't have to do himself, because how much easier is it to be called out on something and be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry I did that, rather than you stepping forward and apologizing for it yourself. Don't overcorrect him. Let him come forward and correct himself. If he doesn't, red flag, run for the hills. This is a bonus example, so I really like this one. Ask him about his past failure, right? And say, why didn't it pan out how he wanted it to? Why did it fail? If he blames external circumstances, he can't take accountability once again. He's gonna do the same with you in the future. If he says, oh, I wasn't consistent enough, I slacked here and there, green flag, amazing. He knows how to improve, he knows how to get better. He's working on himself, hallelujah. Period. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. I had a great old time. Please like and subscribe, obviously, so I can tell you more tips and tricks that I've learned throughout my life and career, and also so that we can hang out. Because I love hanging out with you guys, and I love connecting with you. Please leave me a comment. I always respond, obviously. And tell me what else you want to know from me and hear from me, because I keep a catalogue. Love you lots. Go watch another video of mine.